Welcome to another video, fine people. In this one, I'm going to show you how to choose a workout on Zwift. I'm going to show you where to look for the workouts. I'm going to show you how to see what each workout means so you can choose the right workout for yourself at that specific moment in time. Now, it's pretty straightforward once you know how it all works. So let's jump straight in and take a look. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to a website called What's on Zwift. Now, What's on Zwift is a site basically that has every single workout that is on Zwift. So you don't actually have to go into Zwift to see what's there. This is a much quicker way, right? It saves loading it up and everything. So this is how I look for workouts. What we've got up the top though, schedule, worlds, workouts, group workouts, converters. So workouts, right? We want to choose workouts. Now there's different ways to search. You've got this actual filtered search here. So for example, sport, if we went bike, duration, say 60 to 75 minutes, stress points, if you know about stress points, distance, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to search, for example, and that is going to give me a list and I'm going to see page 1 of 40. So there are loads of workouts on here for you to choose, right? Let's just shoot back. And what I'm going to do is come down because we've got browse Zwift workouts, right? And these are categories essentially. So I'm just going to go 60 to 90 minutes to burn. I often choose my workouts based on time because I normally have an hour to spare or an hour and a half to fit around my day. So what have we got? Now, obviously there looks like loads of data, loads of information. So let's simplify what it means and put it into layman's terms. So every Zwift workout has a zone distribution. Now these are these colors, right? So everything will be in specific zones. Now zone 1 is gray. Let's zoom in a little bit. Zone 1 is gray. So this gray zone here is zone 1. That is very, very light pedaling. It's not going to be any effort. You could do this all day. Zone 6, on the other hand, up here is pretty brutal. This is going to be a sort of sprint effort, a max effort. It's worth noting these zones have a range of power, right? So this is based on your power. So for example, your top end zone may be from 320 watts to 370 watts. Now that is based on your FTP, and to get your own FTP, you need to do a test, an FTP test, which is also an option on Zwift, right? You can run it on Zwift. Now that's what you should do at the very start if you want any of these workouts to be relevant to you. That should be the first test that you do. So once you do an FTP, on the left-hand side over here, you can update your FTP. So mine's 307, but if I was at 250, for example, I'm going to click 250, and that's going to update the numbers on the left here. So what are these numbers on the left? These basically equate to this. So we've got our zones, so we're zone 1 here, so you can see we're warming up at the start, right? Then we're into zone 2, a bit in zone 3, then we're back down to zone 2. Then we're in zone 4 here, and then we're back down to zone 1. So you can see roughly, you know, the ups and downs give you a sort of idea of how hard it's going to be. But if you want the actual numbers, over here or on the left is what it is. So the warm up, 10 minutes from 100 watts to 213 watts, that is that first section here, okay? That's going to be the warm up. Then bam, we're 5 minutes at 162 watts. That's this blue section here. Then 2 minutes at 250 watts. There we go. Then we got 10 minutes, 125 watts. So it just equates. So that's a visual representation, and then that's actually what it is. Now what we have in the zones here, we've got this percentage. So we're going to spend 23% of our time in zone 1, 25% in zone 2, 50 in zone 4, for example, right? So that's how you get a breakdown and a rough idea of the rides. We've also got the ride time here. So that's an hour and 20 minutes, and the stress points is 101. Stress points are all relevant to Zwift, if you like. So if you take on a workout, just note what the stress points are. So when you choose another workout, you will know if it's harder or easier than the one you've already done. There's normally a bit of explanation about what it is as well. So let's look at another one. Let's say we come down here, high intensity recovery, right? We've got, so similar process again, this time we're 44% in 2 and we're up in the higher zones, right? So this is going to be harder. So over here though, we've got 3 times 3 and 3. So what does this mean? This means we're going to do this 3 minutes and this 3 minutes 3 times around, okay? It's like an interval. So you can see here, that is what this section is. So that is 3 minutes, 3 minutes. That's the first one. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, second one. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, third one, okay? So we're looping there. So they could just write it out longhand, but this would get really long. So they just shorten it and say times 3. Then we get the 15 minutes, bam, there's that section in the middle. Then the same again, 3 and 3. Now, one thing to note with that, obviously, that is 6 minutes and you're round 3 times. So that is your 18 minutes there, 15 minutes there, 18 minutes there. Okay, and that will bring you to your ride time over here of 1 hour and 21 minutes. They should all really have a warm up. If they don't, I would advise doing one. So just make sure your body's warm, and also a cool down. So this is a 10-minute warm up, 5-minute cool down. Not too bad, right? Let's move on to this one, which has some extreme sprints at the start, which are pretty crazy. So here we have this at 105 RPM. So what does this mean? This means revolutions per minute, often referred to as cadence. This is how many times your pedals spin in a 1 minute period. So here, it wants your pedals to go around 105 times in a minute, which is a fast cadence. That's pretty fast, okay? And then we've got 85 RPM, right? So that one's slower. So you might find that you do similar things or similar power outputs, but it wants you to vary your cadence or your RPM. Lower cadence is going to be based more on your muscular system. Higher cadence is going to be working on your aerobic engine. Now, I like workouts like this where it selects your RPM for you, because what that's going to do is put you in a more uncomfortable position, because naturally when you get on the bike, you will pedal at what is comfortable for you. So you can choose whether you want prompts on how you should be pedaling, or choose a workout like this where it doesn't have prompts. Now that is totally up to you, and it's not going to force you to that RPM. It's just what it would like you to do. So if you can't do it, you can just do whatever you want. Now there's obviously more as well. So we've got group workouts and we've got training plans, for example, Zwift training plans. I'm doing the Build Me Up plan at the minute. This is sort of the plan total. So if you were looking for a plan for a longer period of time and not just an individual workout, this is where you would go. You can see this one is 13 weeks long. Duration is average 4 hours 43 a week. You can see how much time in zones for that all of that period, for that all those 12 weeks we're going to be in these zones. And then you can click through as well and see certain weeks. So I'm on week 4 at the minute, and for example pedaling drills there, purple unicorn, so I can see exactly what I'm going to be using everything I said earlier on in this video. It does give you prompts when you're actually in Zwift as well, so it makes it all clear with the cadence, etc. Now to view the workouts on Zwift, you simply go to training, and this has put me into my training plan because I'm currently on one. But let's go back to workouts, and for example here we've got these sort of categories which are similar to the categories on the website. So let's do 60 to 90 minutes and high intensity recovery. You can click here and hover and see. I find it easier to see on the website. Again, it's all based on my FTP, which I can change down here. So once you're done, you just click on workout. You can see high intensity recovery is selected, and then we click ride, and that's it. Your workout will be there and you will be following it line for line and suffering most likely, because that's what we do, right? To progress, you go through the pain, come out the other side, and we're all stronger, better, faster, and all that good stuff we want to be.